Hey Internet, it's your old friend Dominic here with the All-American Casino Guide, a channel dedicated to providing you with all the tips, tricks, tutorials, and sometimes trivia you need to know about casinos and casino games. Now this is a very special video. You see, we've covered poker and we've covered blackjack quite extensively on this channel, but there's one casino game we have yet to mention, and that's the game of craps. It's a good old classic casino dice game that is very exciting to play. And in this video, we're going to teach you how to play online craps specifically. So my personal first introduction to the game of craps was an illegal street game in the back of a Chinese laundry. But over the years, I've had the unique opportunity to play online, as well as at a number of brick and mortar establishments. So I feel pretty confident teaching you the basics of the game, and hopefully by the end of this video, you're gonna understand how to play. Any game of craps begins with the come out roll. The come out roll is the first roll of the dice, or the first one after the previous betting round has finished. The player who throws the dice is called the shooter. The shooter takes 2 dice and throws them at the craps table. Or you press the roll button if you happen to be talking about online casino craps. Once the number is rolled, there are 3 possible outcomes, and those are natural, craps, or point. Unnatural is when things get really good, because unnatural means the results of your dice were 7 or 11. When this happens, you win, and you get to roll the dice again. Inversely, if you roll a 2, also known as snake eyes, 3, or 12, sometimes referred to as boxcars, you automatically lose. But the round is not over, and you get to roll again. The third situation is the point. This is whenever you roll a 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, or 10. In a live casino, the dealer would mark your point on the table. The roll number is marked usually with a chit. In online casino games, there's usually a small button that appears once the point is established. It's usually white and it says on. What you need to do now though is to roll the dice again and get the same sum as before. It doesn't have to be the same combination of numbers. It could be 5 and 4 and then 6 and 3. As long as the 2 numbers add up to the same sum, you win. Rolling a 7 in this situation though is very unlucky for you, as it's called sevening out. If you roll a 7, you lose, and it's the end of the betting round. So now that you know how to shoot craps and how to evaluate the results of your dice, let's take a look at how you actually place a bet in a game of craps. If you take a look at the craps table, you're gonna see that it's not only dice and numbers. The layout has a handful of areas for different betting options. The first thing we're gonna talk about is the pass line or don't pass line. The pass line means you bet that the shooter will pass or win by rolling out a natural or by winning the point before sevening out. The don't pass line corresponds to the exact opposite. In this case, you're betting the shooter will not pass, that they will lose. It can happen if the player shoots a 2 or a 3 or fails to hit the point again before sevening out. And of course, there's also the ugly 12 or boxcar. If this is rolled, now it's a push, meaning nothing really happens, you don't win, but you don't lose either. The important thing to remember when it comes to the pass or don't pass line is that this kind of bet can only be made before the point is established on the table. Once the point has been rolled out, the shooter will need to roll that sum again, and the only kind of bet you're allowed to make is a come or don't come bet. It's important to remember, as I said, that the come or don't come bet can only be made after the point has been determined on the table. And if the point is made, the new point becomes the new come bet point. The come bet works just like the pass line one. If the come bet rolls out again before the 7 does, you win. If it doesn't, it's not your lucky day and you lose. The don't come bet works just like the don't pass line. You're in luck if the shooter rolls a 2 or 3, not so much if they roll a 7 or 11. And if they happen to roll a 12, it's a push again, and nobody wins or loses. Once the point is made, you should hope for a 7 to be rolled before the shooter rolls out the point again. Neither pass nor come bets can be turned off. You bet and wait until it plays itself out, but you can make additional bets on the come bet point, and those can be withheld or increased at any time. The next section is all about proposition bets. These are my favorite kinds of bets, and they are one-off bets that can be placed on any one roll. When it comes to proposition bets, there's a number of different categories you can place your wager on. You could be betting that the shooter is going to roll a 7. You can also bet that the shooter is going to roll a craps, a 2, 3, or 12. You can bet that the shooter will throw ace deuce, getting a total of 3. You can be betting that the shooter will throw aces or snake eyes, 2 1s. You can also bet that the shooter will throw boxcars or 2 6s. You can also bet on the horn, where you're hoping that the shooter is going to roll 2, 3, 11, or 12. There's even another bet called hardways, where you're going to bet that the shooter throws a 4, 6, 8, or 10. Essentially any number that I hadn't mentioned previously, the 2, the 3, the 7, the 11, or 12. And you can even bet that the shooter will throw a doubles, double 2, double 3, double 4, so on and so forth. And there's even a bet where you can place a wager on the occurrence of any combination of numbers that adds up to 7. So for example, 5 and 2 or 3 and 4. Finally, I want to talk about place bets, field bets, and hard 6 and hard 8s. Once you know the point, you can bet on any number on the table. This is called a place bet. You win if that number is rolled again before the player rolls a 7 and 7's out. If they don't, you lose. Field bets are a type of bet that are only active for one specific roll, and you win if the player rolls a 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, or 12. If a player rolls a 5, 6, 7, or 8, you lose. On the subject of 6 and 8, the big 6 and big 8 bets are the perfect ones for you if you happen to think a 6 or 8 will be rolled before the shooter happens to throw another 7. These bets pay out at a 1-to-1 ratio. So now that you know how to play online craps, you're gonna be ready to hit the virtual tables and throw some virtual dice and hopefully win some not so virtual real money. Since I know you're itching to play, make sure to check out our website, AmericanCasinoGuide.com, where you'll find some great bonuses to claim for various online casinos that are accessible legally in your specific state. It's the perfect place to start if you're new into online gaming, or if you're just looking for some new casinos and promotions. We have a whole section dedicated specifically to craps. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video to the end. Please feel free to drop a comment down below. I read them all, and I really want to know what you would like me to cover in future videos. Guys, remember to clickety-clack that like button, slam that big red subscribe button, and ring-a-ding-ding that notification bell while making sweet, sweet love to that share button. My name's Dominic. This has been the All American Casino Guide, wishing you luck and reminding you as always, play responsibly.